Alright, so I'm here today with
Jenny.
Jenny. So how did we meet just now?
What?
So how did we meet just now?
Just on the street.
On the street. Yeah, so I approached you for an interview. Do you remember the topics?
It was feet connected to mental health.
Yes. Alright, so kind of like first question, what's your thoughts on mental health?
Very important.
Very important.
Especially what we've been through probably the last couple of years.
Got you. How was your mental health?
My mental health's pretty good. I been fortunate to have a job through the pandemic and been healthy through the pandemic. My husband and son have been healthy through the pandemic, so I just kind of have reframed and focused on that. Focused on what we do now. So,
in terms of stress and anxiety, how do you manage to cope with that?
well, when my job's very stressful, so I try to just set a goal each day to accomplish what I can and reflect back on what I accomplished each day versus looking back and not what I didn't accomplish. And then just taking kind of mental breaks throughout the day just to take a breath and breathe.
Yeah.
And walk around. So feet, getting up and walking around.
Yes. What's your thoughts on self-care?
Important, especially as a mom and a working mom and a wife, to try to find a little bit of time each day, whether it's reading a book or watching a show at the end of the day to wind down, or just I have a lot of time to myself in the car when I drive for work, so finding something on the radio that I like. And
Alright. Shoot. I had my behind. What's your thoughts on trying new experiences?
like it for the most part.
Alright, like it for the most part. Alright, moving on to the next topic. What comes to mind when you hear feet?
Walking.
Walking. Why do you say that?
Because I think that's probably one of the biggest things our feet do for us, I guess.
Yeah,
On the
basically.
daily. Walking, running, I guess movement.
Yeah, because there's people who don't like feet, like being stinky, sweaty, all that.
Yeah.
But what I try to educate people is like our feet are the foundation to our body. It helps us get to different places, helps us keep us healthy by exercising, walking, do all these different things.
Yep.
Alright. Have you ever received compliments on your feet?
No.
Never.
No.
Let me ask you this. How would you feel if a man complimented you on your feet?
I'd be a little weirded out, I think.
Why'd you say that?
I don't know. It's just a part of the body you don't really think about being attractive, I suppose, but more of a necessary.
Got you. How would you feel if a woman complimented you on your feet?
Probably the same way. I don't know. Probably not as weirded out, but
yeah, kind of get that a lot. Usually, like as a woman, they kind of like find it more sincere being complimented than women than by a man.
Yeah, of your own gender or whatever.
Yeah. How often do you get pedicures?
Not very often. If I'm going on vacation, occasionally.
How often do you go barefoot?
At home, probably of an evening, but.
Alright. How often do you wear open-toe shoes?
Not very often unless I'm on vacation or out by the pool or something.
Alright. In this moment, can we see what your feet look like?
Can what?
Can we see what your feet look like? Why not?
Because they're not painted, they're gross, they're sweaty.
Alright, well, let me put this mental health portion part of it. Have you ever heard exposure therapy? Alright, so we tend to be in the moment that causes fear and anxiety. Always be in that uncomfortable moment, like thinking anything can happen, anything super bad that can happen, but you gotta really ask yourself what's the worst that can happen. It's not like a threat to your safety or health.
Yeah.
You should proceed with that.
Yeah.
And you might find the moment positive. Like you practice over and over, try to get used to that uncomfortable feeling. So let's say like someone being socially awkward, just trying to have a conversation with a person. And also, like when I asked you to do this interview, like the worst that could happen was you could say no. You just gone by day. So what's your thoughts about that?
I mean, I get it. It does, pushing us outside of our comfort zone makes us anxious, for sure, and stuff we don't feel comfortable with makes us.
Alright, with that being said, you still don't want to show your feet? Got you, that's fine. So moving on to the next topic, in terms of feet, also like talk about reflexology. Have you heard of it?
No, I have not.
Alright, so with reflexology, we have these different pressure points in our hands and feet that can relate to different parts of the body. And by applying massage or acupuncture, we can help alleviate stress out of those different body parts. So let's say if you're dealing with a serious headache or migraine, there's a certain part of the hand or feet that you can massage and help alleviate that stress. more
Okay.
tension.
Okay.
So what's your thoughts about that?
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I've always heard that if you've got something on like your foot, it could translate up. You know, if you've got a pain or an ache or something, it could translate up. There's different parts of the body it could affect. So
Yeah, like
that
so
kind of makes sense.
with the big toe, that connects to your brain and pituitary gland, and like it goes down from the body from the top foot to the bottom, that goes down to the top of the body,
Yeah.
head to down.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how the body's connected. Anyway.
All right. So wrapping up this interview, what's your thoughts about it? Anything good or bad?
I mean, it makes sense. I just, I guess moving, yeah, when you talk about how the feet kind of connect to the brain, that kind of probably also connects to your mental health too, right?
Yeah.
And using your feet to exercise and do other things too, you know, you can
Yeah.
connects it kind of all together. So,
All right. In terms of my approach, how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
7. I guess I was in my own little world. I wasn't expecting you to come up and ask me to do an interview, but
Got you.
Yeah.
Because I always try to catch people in these moments. Like
Yeah.
everything's impromptu. Like we just gotta react to the moment.
yep, very good.
All right. Any feedback that could work on in the near future?
I don't think so. Good luck with your interviews.
All right.
many
Last
trying to-
question.
how
Any
many
advice you would give out, like a life lesson that you learned?
Oh gosh. I think over these past few years, just kind of reflect. I try to reflect on what I have versus what I don't have, and be appreciative of it.
Well, all right. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Hope
How many
you
more
have-
interviews are you trying to